Hey everybody, Jim Callback here from the Jobs to Be Done Toolkit, and we are talking about the Jobs to Be Done Canvas 2.0. We're really excited to launch this new tool. One of the strengths of Jobs to Be Done is the way that it categorizes insights and information from your research into different buckets. And that's one of the toughest things to do, is to recognize a piece of information or insight and be able to put it into its proper bucket. Then you have to formulate it in the right way. And doing those two things are really key to getting the most out of Jobs to Be Done. The Jobs to Be Done Canvas helps you, particularly with the buckets. Like other canvases, there are some boxes here that represent those categories of information, those buckets of information that really define Jobs to Be Done. And it's really about these different elements. The canvas is broken up into two parts. Along the top here, along the top are what I call the top-down factors. These are the decisions you need to make as an innovator as to where you're going to innovate and who you're going to innovate for. The best place to get started is right here with the job performer. Who do you want to innovate for? Think about that. And then think about their target job. What is that core functional job that they're trying to get done? These two often go hand in hand. So if you had a new homeowner here, the target job might be acquire a new home. Sometimes it's as simple as that. The related jobs are other jobs that the job performer has to get done in your domain. So when you think about the field that you operate in, when you think about your domain, there are other related jobs. So if we're thinking about real estate and we have a new homeowner here trying to acquire a new home, there are some other jobs that they might try to get done as well too, like finance a new home or move homes or sell old home. Those would be what we call related jobs. We don't forget about those. We only focus on one at a time though. And the related jobs really helps you sort out your field and your domain and pick that unit of analysis, which is the target job. That's why the target job here is right in the center. That's going to be your focus of your research. Above the target job are aspirations. These are the things that the job performer wants to become by doing that target job. It's really what they're trying to make progress in something in their lives. We very often call these B goals, right? So in the field of real estate, if we're looking at new home ownership broadly, what do people want to be or become from owning a new home? They want to have a better home life, for instance, or they want to be a better family. Those are the types of things that you would write down here in the aspirations. Again, these four boxes along the top, I call those top down because to some degree, they're your decision as to where you want to focus your innovation effort. That doesn't mean, however, that you can't talk to job performers. In fact, you can go out and talk to a few. It might not be formal research, but you can go out and ask people, what are you trying to get done? What else are you trying to get done? Related jobs. What are your aspirations? And that helps you validate and form your top-down decision. Once you have that target job, though, that becomes our focus. That's the focus of all of the other research. And these elements down here represent what I call bottom-up elements because those come from going out and talking to job performers. First, you have the job steps. What's the sequence of steps that people need to take, that the job performers take in order to get that job done? There are some standard ones that we've kind of sketched in here. These are suggestions for labels and categories. It's really important to think, though, about the beginning, the middle, and the end. What do they do before they start executing the job, right? What do they do afterwards as well, too? We really want the breadth of looking at that target job before, during, and after. And you can use these labels here to help you kind of sketch that out. Very often, you have enough knowledge about your domain to actually create a sketch here. And I recommend doing that before you do formal research. And I call this an assumption job map or a hypothesis job map based on your own knowledge. And that's what the canvas is helping you do, is kind of get out what you already know to be true about the job steps in this case. Down here we have the emotional and the social aspects. These are just that, the emotional aspects, how people want to feel or avoid feeling while getting the job done. And the social aspects are how do they want to appear or avoid appearing while getting the job done. Again, you might use your own knowledge at the beginning to sketch some of these out. You can talk to a few job performers, but you're really going to flesh this out from research. That's why we call these the bottom-up categories. The job steps, the emotional and the social aspects, but also the outcomes. The outcomes are the measures of success. If the job steps show how to get from point A to point B in a very functional way, the outcomes are what does the job performer want to achieve in terms of their needs or their desired outcomes. How are they going to measure success? So these very often include qualitative phrases and adjectives in here as well too. So the steps are how did they get there, point A to point B. The outcomes are how well did they get that done. Finally, we have the job differentiators right over here. These are the factors or the circumstances that might make a difference in getting the job done, right? So if we're thinking about broadly the field of real estate, in particular a new homeowner trying to acquire a home, the job differentiators are those factors that are going to make getting that job done differently. At first, we assume the job performer and the target job are kind of all one unit, but then we can start looking at some of these job differentiators to differentiate different types of job performers. For instance, if you have a family or not, finding a new home is going to be very, very different, right? So the Jobs to be Done Canvas is really focused on helping you sort and separate the elements of jobs to be done, that categorization that is so key to getting the most out of jobs to be done. We hope you enjoy it, and let us know how you make out with the Jobs to be Done Canvas 2.0.